Hi everyone, and welcome back to Our Strange Past. Today, we are uncovering some bizarre and lesser-known facts about the gladiators of ancient Rome. These fierce warriors that have captivated our imaginations for centuries have more to their story than meets the eye. So grab a helmet and shield as we step into the arena to explore the oddities that made gladiators such a fascinating part of history. The Colosseum was a place of entertainment where gladiators fought in front of thousands of spectators. As brutal and bloody as it was, contrary to popular belief, most fights didn't end up with a death. Gladiators were highly trained and fought for fame, fortune, and glory. Killing their opponent wasn't always necessary to win. In fact, sparing their opponent's life could earn them more respect and admiration from the crowd. The outcome of a fight was often decided by a referee, who would declare a winner and could stop the fight if one was seriously wounded. If the crowd was pleased with the performance, it was even possible for both gladiators to leave the arena in honor. Even though most fights didn't end up with a death or someone being beheaded, being a gladiator was a short, brutal, and bloody way of life. Not all gladiators were forced to fight in the brutal games at the Colosseum. Most of the early gladiators were indeed slaves, criminals, or prisoners of war. However, by the 1st century, the demographics had started to change. There were those lured by the thrill of battle, the prize money, and the roar of the crowds. Many free men began to volunteer and sign contracts with the gladiator schools to be able to compete, in the hope of winning some of the glory and rewards associated with the Colosseum Games. Often, these freelance warriors were desperate men in need. Many were ex-soldiers that were very adept in fighting. But then there were knights and even senators who wanted to demonstrate their battle skills for the thrill and fame of winning. The brutal games of the Roman Colosseum. Many historians believe that the gladiator fights began at the funerals of wealthy nobles. Their families would hold graveside bouts between enslaved or condemned prisoners as a kind of bizarre and bloody eulogy for the deceased. They considered them a form of blood rite for the aristocrat that died. The Romans believed that the human blood helped purify the soul of the dead. This bloody eulogy may have served as a crude substitute for human sacrifice. During the reign of Julius Caesar, these funeral games increased in size and intensity. He staged bouts between hundreds of gladiators in honor of his deceased father. These games proved very popular, and by the end of the 1st century, the Roman government began hosting these games as a way of showing their control and currying favor for the bloodlust of the masses. By the time the gladiator games entered the Colosseum, they have evolved into a well-organized, brutal sport, and had separated fighters into different classes. By having different types of gladiators with different weapons, the games became more interesting and engaging for the audience. Next, by matching gladiators with similar weapons and armor, the fights were more evenly matched and the outcome was less predictable. Also, the different classes were often pitted against each other in carefully choreographed battles, which added to the drama and excitement of the games. And finally, the different classes were often associated with different regions or cultures, which added the diversity and richness to the games. Overall, this added to the entertainment value and complexity of the games, while giving the spectators the brutal performance they desired. A popular event held in the Colosseum was the animal hunt. However, rarely were the gladiators involved. Tangling with wild beasts was reserved for a special class of warriors who specialized in fighting wild animals. They were skilled in using weapons like spears, nets, and bows to subdue their prey. They fought everything from deer to lions, and on occasion even crocodiles and elephants. These animal hunts were usually the opening events for the games, and scores of the unfortunate beasts would be slaughtered in a single exhibition. The animals were often starved and provoked before the fight, making them even more dangerous. The fights were brutal and bloody, with both fighters and the animals sustaining serious injuries. But the crowds loved it, and the spectacle of man versus beast became a staple of Roman entertainment. Women gladiators, or gladiatresses, were a rare but fascinating sight in ancient Rome. They were trained in the same way as male gladiators, and fought in the same types of battles. Some fought against other women, while others were pitted against male opponents. The crowds loved watching women gladiators fight, and they were often seen as a symbol of female empowerment and strength. There are few records of women gladiators, but it seems that they were banned from the games by Emperor Severus around 200 AD. Much of what we know about them comes from ancient artwork and writings, but their legacy lives on as a testament to their bravery and skill. The Colosseum remains a symbol of the glory and brutality of ancient Rome, and the women gladiators who fought there are a reminder that the strength and courage know no gender. Many emperors gained the love of the people by hosting the gladiator games, but some actually participated in the combat. Even though the games were somewhat staged with controlled conditions, like dull blades, some emperors did fight in the Colosseum. They did this for various reasons, including showcasing their strength and skill, gaining public approval, and asserting their dominance over political rivals. By participating in the arena, emperors could demonstrate their physical prowess and fighting skills, which were highly valued in the Roman society. Additionally, fighting in the Colosseum allowed emperors to connect with the masses and earn their admiration, which was crucial for maintaining power and stability. Lastly, emperors could use their victories in the arena to intimidate and undermine their political opponents, further solidifying their rule. We hope you enjoyed these little-known facts about gladiators, the warriors of the Roman Colosseum. And if you enjoyed our video, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for visiting us. Until next time, take care.